to find a father for the baby in her womb. The woman drugged the drink of her blind date. After the man passed out, she took him to a hotel. She staged a fake scene as if they had slept together. On the day the man received a job offer abroad, the woman told him she was pregnant. The man had no choice but to give up his promising future and stay in their small town to be with his wife during her pregnancy. This is how they spent the next 20 years. The man worked non-stop to support his wife and child. After delivering takeout and returning home, he saw that his wife and son weren't home. He stealthily hid his delivery uniform. It turned out he had been unemployed for over 3 months. He then dragged his exhausted body into the kitchen to prepare dinner. Not long after, his wife and son stormed home in anger. Seeing that the meal wasn't his favorite, the son angrily flipped the table, spilling all the food. The furious man raised his hand to discipline his son, but his wife stopped him. She demanded to know why he hadn't responded to her messages today. Earlier, while the man was job hunting, he had received messages from both his wife and son asking for money. Being unemployed, he didn't have enough money, so he pretended not to see them and ignored the requests. Now he realized why his wife and son were upset. His wife had been just $2,000 short of buying a bracelet today, and was mocked by the saleswoman when she couldn't pay. His son wanted the newest phone, not wanting to show up to his graduation party with a cheap phone, fearing his classmates would look down on him. Hearing these complaints, the man felt like a failure as both a husband and a father. The next day, after finishing his delivery route, he went to interview for an engineer position at a listed company, hoping to provide a better life for his wife and son. When the interviewer learned that he was 48 years old, he was rejected on the spot for being too old. After he left, the interviewer even threw his USB drive in the trash. At that moment, the female CEO happened to come to the HR department. She asked about the hiring situation, and found that they hadn't recruited anyone suitable. But the company's AR project was urgent. Without a good engineer, it would be hard to make progress. Then she noticed the USB drive in the trash. Curious, she plugged it into the computer, and was shocked to find that the designs on it were at least 5 years ahead of the company's technology. She immediately realized that the man was the talent she needed. Excited, she ordered her assistant to find out everything about him. At this time, the man's secret of being unemployed and delivering takeout was finally discovered. He thought his wife and son would understand him, but instead, all he got was criticism. His wife immediately asked for a divorce. The man was terrified when he heard this, as he didn't want to lose his family. He promised his wife that he would work himself to the bone to meet their needs, but his wife's next words completely broke his heart. It turned out she had married him in the first place because he could make money, but now that he was unemployed with no savings, and was even delivering takeout, embarrassing the family. His son also envied his classmates whose fathers bought them cars and houses, and scolded his father for not being able to afford even a new phone. At that moment, the man finally understood that in the eyes of his wife and son, without money, he wasn't even considered a person. Heartbroken, he immediately agreed to the divorce, leaving the house with nothing. He then went to a street stall and drank alone, playing a song for himself. As he thought about the past, he slowly began to come to terms with everything. This scene was coincidentally witnessed by the female CEO, who had come looking for him. Seeing the mature charm radiating from the man, the CEO felt a spark of attraction. She walked up to introduce herself to him, but the man said he wasn't interested.